am your host, Toby, and this is the Secret Levels podcast. And I have a sidekick with me today, a special guest. Will you please introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I am Goobs, and I am solo, but I'm with Toby, the main man, right here. We're gonna play some video games, and you know what? Kick some ass, or get our ass kicked, or get really frustrated. We'll see what happens.
Yes. So this show is going to be a little different from anything that we both do, I guess. We're going to kind of be reviewing a video game.
Yeah, reviews.
And I collect video games, so what better way to put all these old video games I have on these shelves to good use than to just play them and then talk about them, you know?
Yeah, it's cool to brag about them and all, and like, I got this, I got that, but it's one thing to actually play your collection.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll be honest, I have a bunch of games that I've never touched and never even put into a system. Like, I bought it for $1 and I'm like, So
yeah.
this is what
we're all collectors, especially people listening to the show. Probably you probably have a couple games that you like. Nah, that's a stinker and a shelf filler. I'm not going to touch that.
Well, to kick off this pilot episode, I think we picked one of those stinkers.
Oh, we definitely took the cream of the crop here.
So, as you could probably tell from the episode title, we are going to be talking about Shaq Fu, and we both played the Super Nintendo version.
Yes, we did. There's a Sega Genesis version as well, but we didn't touch that because I don't even want to touch this.
Well, see, the Super Nintendo and the Sega version came out in 1994. It was later ported to the Game Gear, the Game Boy, and the Amiga system in 95. And
an Amiga, man, that's one I haven't heard of in a while.
Yeah, you know what? Before we get real deep into this review, I cannot imagine this game on a Game Gear or Game Boy.
Oh no, dude! Like playing it in 16 bits is enough. Like, playing it in like a dumbed down version of this.
Oh yeah.
Like some Game Gear and Sega or Game Boy games, they do live up to the name. Like they're great games.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but I can only fucking imagine.
Yeah. So
I'd probably go through 5 Game Boys playing this.
Just breaking them, just snapping them in half over your knee. So, like I said, we did play this on the Super Nintendo. This is a fighting game starring Shaquille O'Neal. Which, I don't know who came up with the idea of, hey, Shaq needs to be in a fighting Mortal Kombat style video game.
He's the biggest man in basketball right now, so let's shove him in a video game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
90s, motherfucker.
So
Michael Jordan also had a video game as well, so he had to compete.
Right. So this is a 2-player game. There are 7 characters if you don't do the story mode, which this is pretty cool about this game compared to other fighting games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna try to give some nice things about this game if that's possible.
Okay, I will not.
There's different.
You be the angel on this one, sir.
I'm good cop, you're bad cop. In a minute, we'll both become bad cop.
I'm fucking rage cop.
So there's 3 different modes. There's the duel mode. I may be getting the names wrong, but it's just your normal one-on-one. You know, you can play with a second player, just pick whatever fighter you want. There's a story mode where you can only be Shaq, and then there's a tournament mode, which I guess if you had a bunch of friends that really dig this game, that might be kind of fun.
Oh man, I wouldn't want to be friends with those people.
7 other people that like this game.
Spoiler alert, I don't like this game. If you haven't fucking noticed already.
You know, I saw a lot of places that said that this is one of the most voted hated games of all time.
Oh, I'll get into my rage later on, but yeah, there's tons of different modes in here, which is great for what it is, I guess. But
well, I thought it was really cool.
Mode,
yeah,
man.
The story mode. The story's awful, but I
love the first thing you see is Pepsi.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I wasn't even paying attention.
Right in the background, like he's like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm playing an all-star game right now. I'm Shaq, and I'm in. Is it Japan or Tokyo? He's somewhere over in the Orient."
It is a little stereotypical, some of the character choices. Did you notice that?
Definitely, man.
So
it totally is.
So the story of the game is he walks up to this old Chinese martial artist type of man.
Gremlins? but fucking terrible.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, you must be the one from the stars," or says something goofy like
No, I'm
that.
here for an all-star game.
Yeah, that's that's what it is. He makes a really bad all-star joke, and then so he sends you on this mission to find this kid named Niru or something like that.
Yeah, Niru. I think I saw it as Mizu as well, but yeah, Niru. We'll go with Niru, brother Niru.
So he sends you into this other dimension, and you have to basically fight all the people there to rescue
And
this.
Shaq doesn't even question it. He just walks right into this like
You know
the
what?
closet this guy has. Like, here, you're in the second world now.
That's exactly what my thought was like he didn't even like resist. He's just like, okay. But it fits Shaq's character kind of being kind of dopey sometimes, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go do this. You know?
Yeah, it totally is, man. It was just like, okay, now we're in another world, and then you get put onto the world map where you're a tiny little ass Shaq, very small sprite, and the world's big, and nothing's really labeled. You just got to run around and try to find the level
Yeah.
that you have to fight in.
So there's 7 characters, or well, there's just, I think you fight 6 characters, and then that's the boss. He's some kind of mummy guy, and you save him, and you
Yeah, Set. I think his name was Set.
Set, and you save the kid, and it's okay. Gameplay. What do you think of the gameplay?
What do I think of the gameplay? Well, if you like weak ass moves and
All kicking.
you do your special, which is forward, back, forward, Y, and it's a pain in the ass to do, and it takes forever to launch.
Yeah,
like,
he like spirit bombs like a Dragon Ball Z, like holds it over his head and it takes a second to charge up, and then he throws it. By that time, you've already gotten your ass kicked.
Or if you hit it, it only takes off a tick of damage.
Yeah.
Let alone the people that you're fighting. When you get hit by one of their special moves, your health is like bam, 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 just going right down. You're like, what the fuck? And he has this other move. It's like a roundhouse kick, and your foot's on fire because I guess that's something that fucking happens in the second world. And it doesn't do shit to anyone. Nothing you do is like impacts them as much as the shit they do to you.
Right. No, yeah, it's pretty bad. The gameplay is really slow. Like I said, you can't jump and punch. There is no jumping punch option.
No, even though I tried other characters, some characters can't jump and kick.
Really?
Yeah, they have like different moves and stuff. Like it just blocks it out totally when they're in the air.
Oh man.
So, I got so used to drop kicking people as Shaq to win a match.
Yeah.
That you couldn't not do that on any other character pretty much.
I could never figure out how to block. Did you ever figure out how to block?
Like, oh yeah, you can make a little orb around yourself if you hit the L button.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, you just make but it's sporadic. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. I have no clue what the fucking rhyme or reason is about that.
So, his little projectile that Shaq throws is called a Shaqrukin.
Shaqrukin?
I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't a sound effect like that. What did you think of the music and the overall like art style of the game?
See, I was trying to find something good in it, and I was just like, I turned up the music. I'm like, yeah, okay. Maybe there's something in here. It's decent.
It's tolerable.
But it's not something memorable.
Right? Yeah. This is something that you would be like, is that from a video game or is that just someone? You know, it's nothing special. Is what I'm trying to say.
Someone fucking around with a mini board or something.
Right. What about the art style?
It was decent for its time. I've seen better games around the same era there, but it was tolerable. I just wished like the frame rate for all the moves were good. You just try to do something, you can't do it. Like, I'm a fighting game player. I love fighting games. I'll play every single one of them. I can normally pick them up and be pretty decent at them because you know all the movesets by now, being an older gamer. And it's pretty easy to do that. Not with this game. The moves are like forward, down, back, and then I'm like, how the fuck are you supposed to figure that out?
Right. Yeah.
I was just so frustrated as a video game. Like, I played this game as a kid. I haven't really played it up till now because I avoided it fucking without anything. But
that's me too. Yeah, me too.
But when you want to do a pilot, what's a shittier game that you can play than Shaq Fu? So here we are, folks.
I think some of the problems were that the characters were too small. Like when you play Mortal Kombat, you know, they're up in the front, and you know you can see what's going on first off.
Yeah.
And I think that
was like a further back perspective.
Yeah, yeah, it's too far, and it makes your character too small. The jumping is way too ridiculous, and not
fly halfway across the screen. And good
Yeah,
luck hitting something with that,
yeah.
especially the hit punch. 'Cause I didn't do shit.
The punching, that's what I was gonna say a second ago. The punching has a range of like you. I mean,
T Rex.
yeah. If you yeah, if you're not up on them, hugging them, you're not gonna land a hit on them with a punch.
Same with the Firefoot move. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not right on them, you're not hitting that shit.
I think I sent you a message saying when you get them in the corner, just use the fire kick.
Yeah, you did send me a message, and I tried that. And then people will just fly away in a tornado and stuff.
Right.
It seemed like everyone else is overpowered than Shaq, and
Yeah.
it's just not fair.
Well, he's just a human. So
I guess so.
I do think that we played the wrong version because apparently the Sega version has 5 more characters for some reason.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh,
So
just as bad as everyone else.
and I also found that there was a cheat code where you could unlock blood. There was a blood code, kind of like Mortal Kombat, and
Oh,
when you unlock that, you actually had finishers, kind of. I don't know exactly how they worked because I didn't realize that there was such a thing until after I had played it and turned it off and didn't want to turn it on ever again.
yeah, no, I don't think I'm ever going back and touching that.
So I don't know. Maybe it works or it doesn't work. I don't know. I'm not going to confirm it, but there supposedly is a blood code. Apparently the fatalities are much worse on like Beast. When they're creatures and they're not human based.
Yeah,
So like probably the Mummy, the Beast, the cat lady. They'll probably because
yeah, the Ghoul too, or whatever the
yeah,
fuck that
yeah.
guy was.
So
I thought he was flashing me when he wins. He just lifts his arms up and his trench coat folds back. I'm like, is that guy flashing me right now?
yeah, they just didn't have very good sprite animations, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, just
The
everything. There's. I did love though the faces at the top of the screen when you lose a match or win a match. Like this, like Shaq just looks disappointed. His jaws agape, and like even if you win, he's like, I'm Shaq. And all the other characters too are just like I focus more on that than winning the matches at that point. I'm like, do those faces move when I'm playing? No, they don't. Their eyes twitch a little bit.
Did you ever figure out whatever that rage meter thing was?
No, but I was telling a friend that I would be talking about this game tonight,
Yeah.
and at work, and he's like, "Do you know that the Tekken stole that rage mode from Shaq or Shaq Fu?" And it's like, "No." And how do you do the rage mode in Shaq Fu? He's like, "I have no clue at all."
That's funny. Yeah.
Like I could have looked it on the line, but like when rage mode came up, I pretty much like put every combination I know like in my memory to get that move going. It did not work at all.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it just like made you stronger while you fought or what
I
did
think
it
that
did.
might be it. I was expecting like a big like blowing move, like really take the person out, like a big grapple or something.
Yeah. No, I could not figure it out. So it was just one of those things he would rage out and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing fire kick in the corner.
And drop kicks, plenty of drop kicks, and
Yes.
the continues. Oh man, you only get like I think 4 or 5 chances to beat the game, and they just stop. I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? I just beat 4 people, and now I'm dead. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this no more. I even sent you a message like I'm ready to smash this thing right now. And I don't normally rage. I love hard games. I love Nintendo hard and like old school hard, but this is not hard. It's just stupid. I don't understand how this is even a thing.
Right. Yeah. What about the characters? Were any of the characters like maybe kind of interesting?
Oh, the characters, like the character concepts were very interesting. I didn't mind them. They're like one of the highlights of this game, if you can take it as that. Uh, I like the Ghoul a lot. Like I said before, he flashes you at the end of the match. He's pretty interesting. The Mummy guy, like stereotypical, but like he's like a rock, like he looks like a rock star mummy. He has like
Right.
big gauntlets on and stuff, and I'm like, I'm down with that.
Yeah. I was kind of curious about the Beast character, but I kind of like those kind of grotesque looking characters like that.
Oh,
So
he just looked like he was made of blood. It was like blood and muscle. I'm like, okay, I can get down with
yeah,
that.
no, it was kind of cool.
It looked like someone from Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I think that's what it reminded me of is Killer Instinct. What about the very end when you beat the game?
Oh God.
Shaq is going to the All Stars game. He walks in the
Oh,
arena.
with the kid.
Yeah, he's got the
He
kid.
saves the kid.
Saves the kid. He walks into the arena, and then Beast, the character Beast, is there, and
Ready
he
to
goes.
play basketball.
He says something corny like, "I hope you play better than you fight."
That's exactly what he says. I took a screenshot of it just in case we didn't get to that. I took a screenshot of the whole ending of the game. I'm like, wow, 3 screens of garbage. Thank you for ruining my life.
You know, it's a shame that they didn't have it to where you could, because the main story, that's all you can play is Shaq. You can't play as anyone else. It's kind of a shame that there wasn't alternate endings. I mean, you know, a lot of those, which
Like every other fighting game out there.
right, Street Fighter, anything, you know,
World Heroes, Street Fighter, Power Instinct, everyone you can do a story mode with like different characters and still like get a story at the end.
right.
Not this game. This game's something else. It's on another level.
Is there any other games that you could compare this to? Like, is there anything that plays like this or similar to this?
E.T.?
I couldn't think of anything. I'm sure there's something that someone's probably out there like, it plays like this, you idiots. But it's just so sloppy. It's just the controls aren't tight. Like I said, like we said, you jump.
Nothing's tight about this game. It's very loose.
You jump all the way across the screen, and you're already zoomed back. So it's a really long, high jump. It's kind of ridiculous.
And then they still let you move the screen back and forth too, like so you just keep jumping back what seems like a mile,
yeah,
and or a kilometer if you're American.
It there you go. So with all this, when I was looking up stuff about this game, there is actually a website called ShaqFu.com, and their goal is to destroy every copy of Shaq Fu.
Oh man, I need to join these people.
But
I'd love to do that. I'll throw a fucking Shaq-kurican. What the hell is...
I can't. I won't ever be able to say it again. Yeah, I won't be able to say it.
Yeah, you got 2 of the worst talkers here talking together.
I said it once, and that's all that needs to be said. But
yeah, we'll throw one of those at the game. That'd be fun.
What's really funny is there's the opposite of ShaqFu.com that wants to destroy it. There's SaveShaqFu.com, and they are out to save it. So
I think I found a new arch enemy in my life.
I found my best friend and arch enemy at the same time.
Yes.
I'm
down with one cause, fuck the other.
I bet anything it's the same person that has both websites. Just to be funny.
They're like the devil and angel on your shoulder.
Yeah. But then I found out something really cool. They launched a Kickstarter campaign, I think, in 2014
yes, they did.
To reboot the franchise, the Shaq Fu franchise of one game. And apparently it's releasing June 4th, 2018, this year.
I've seen some gameplay from it. And it looks like a side-scroller, kind of like beat 'em up, like old-school style. So we'll see what they do with it.
From what I could tell, the story was Shaq somehow ends up in this Chinese village or something, and he's raised, and he's the tallest, biggest one there, and everyone picks on him. And some kung fu master trains him, and then their village starts getting attacked or something. But there's a lot of comedy in it. It actually, I hate to say it, I'm excited for it. I'm going to play it. It's going to be an action-adventure game. It's going to be for PS4, the Switch, and Xbox One.
If it's more than $12, I'm not touching it.
I think
that's my limit.
I think the pre-order I saw was $29.99 American.
Nope, not touching it.
I might just for this show, maybe just to see if it
are we gonna have maybe I have to then. Are we gonna have me come back on the show and talk about Shaq Fu 2?
I mean, I would like to
Shaq
see
Jitsu.
I would like to see if it could redeem itself. That's the only thing I really want to see. Can it redeem itself?
There's no redeeming factors about this game. Nothing at all. Only the faces up in the corners after you lose a match. That's the best thing about the whole fucking game.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this game? I know I shouldn't ask, but I'm curious.
Can I go negative?
I mean,
I'll give it a, I don't know, I like challenges and everything. Like I do kind of like the glutton in me, not the glutton of punishment. Sorry, in me wants to go back and try to play it more and get really good at this game. But the other half of me is like, "What are you doing, stupid?" So I'll
Yeah.
give it a 2.5.
You know,
Just because it wants me to go back.
I was gonna say about a 3 out of 10. I would never suggest it to anyone. It's one of those things like, oh, you found it at a Goodwill for $1. Yeah, buy it just to put it on your shelf.
Buy
And
it. They should pay you for it.
well, if it's $1, but just maybe it's something you throw in and be like, this is how a video game should not be, and then go play some Mortal Kombat or something that's decent or good. Not decent,
Any
good.
like kid or anything that wants to be a game developer growing up, we need to sit them down personally and make them play this game. Like, do not make this again. That should be like in every school that for video game designers.
Do not do this. They should have to play all the really shitty cartridges like this. Here you go. You're gonna play this. Do not make a game like this.
So many games with bad controls and bad concepts, and I'm sure you'll touch on most of them.
Yeah. Well, we do want to touch on some good games too. It's not just all bad games. We're gonna review some good ones, some very loved ones. Hopefully, in the future, you will come back and talk.
You'll never hear anything about Mega Man on this show.
Nope. Mega Man is we don't like Mega Man at all.
No, we all hate Mega Man here.
I'm waiting for your phone to get a text so here it go. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, I don't have Mega Man as my ringtone or a Mega Buster in the other room at all.
But yeah,
or a shrine to Mega Man. No, never talk about Mega Man.
So yeah, possibly don't be on the lookout for a Mega Man, mini Mega Man, Mega Man's review. All the Mega Man.
Now you're a man, Mega Man.
I don't know the plural of how to say Mega Man because it's not multiple.
Yo, you're my Mega Mans.
But anyways, we will probably touch on all those along with a bunch of other games. But I think that's going to be it for this episode, this pilot episode. And I appreciate you testing these waters with me. I hope they were warm.
I'll jump into these waters anytime you need me, my friend. No matter how treacherous they are,
how shark infested they are.
This is Shaq infested.
Yeah. Why does that need to be a design of some sort, like Shaq as a shark?
Doing a slam dunk with a freaking blowfish.
Oh, that's great. Will you tell everyone where they can find you and the Derailers and all that good stuff?
Well, you can find me. I'm on Twitter pretty much. I'm a creature of habits. I stick to one thing. You can find me on Twitter at GoobsWN. You can find the Derailers at the Derailers on Twitter. And we're pretty awesome. We do a show. We just talk about random stuff. We pick one topic, jump on a train, and ride it completely off the tracks, folks. It is amazing and tons of fun. And it has my co-host, Ripkin, on it, and my lovely wife, Jenny Bean. You can follow Jenny Bean. She runs the Derailers thing. You can follow her at that. And then Ripkin at RipkinWN. And me and Ripkin also do something else on YouTube, brothers. We do Derailed Wrestling, and that is absolutely insane. You want to see some matches on WWE 2K18, including some of our best friends like Toby and Miles and Richie and Bob and Rob and Adam and Crumb and Crises, all of our fellow podcasters and our created wrestlers, all duking it out for a title. Check it out, folks. You can follow that at Wrestle Nerds Wrestling. That's just a lot of shit right there, folks.
That is a lot of stuff. It's a lot of fun, though. You guys put a lot of hard work into the Derailers Wrestling.
I really hope I didn't miss anyone. I think I got everybody.
I'm sure you did, but you can find everyone on the Somebodies Network. How about that?
Yeah, check out Somebodies, because you ain't alone if you got some buddies.
I don't know. That's not the jingle that we went with, but
whatever.
There's a bunch.
What we want.
There's a bunch of great shows on the Some Buddies, and that's BUDDIES. Go to Twitter at some SOME buddies BUDDIES net NET, and follow all the shows that are on that network. And for me, you can find this Twitter account for this show. It's at Secret Levels Pod, I think. But you can find my main show. It is Secret Transmission, and if you like conspiracies and all that good stuff. And if you came here from that, welcome. You know me already, and you probably know Goobs already.
Salutations. We took over a show and made it terrible for one episode.
Oh no, it was great. Okay, so I guess this is it for this episode. We are all out of continues. It is game over.
This podcast is part of the Some Buddies Network. You're never alone when you've got some buddies.